It seems controller issues have been plaguing almost every single console platform recently, whether that be in the Joy-Con drift issues from the Nintendo Switch and now the new joystick drift issues that are currently rumoured to be plaguing Sony's PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. Now Microsoft have decided that they want to join the crew of controller defects with a new Xbox Series 1-X defect. So let's jump into today's topic and discuss. Hey, what's going on guys? My name's Matthew from MLC Tech here, and we are back in a new sort of setup that I'm going to try out for news videos, perhaps even migrate over to review videos. I'm not too sure yet. I'm just trying to get my bearings with different setups, see what works. We're experimenting around a little bit, so it's a perfect opportunity to try this new setup. So, now you may recall that around the start of the year, there were issues of another Xbox controller issues where apparently the controller would randomly disconnect at random from the console. And it would appear that another bunch of issues are experiencing yet again more issues with their controllers. And Microsoft has indeed gone out and confirmed that this is an actual issue that they've experienced themselves, and not just someone on Reddit or 4chan trying to stir up rumours or beef with the console market. It's all confirmed by Microsoft at this point that this is actually an issue. So following loads of social media posts on Twitter, Facebook, there's been a growing number of users that have confirmed the issue, mainly with the D-pad, mainly that being the X, Y, A, B buttons on the D-pad. And apparently they're not being registered at all at sometimes. But Microsoft, to their credit, has come out and addressed this issue very, very quickly. In a quote from Microsoft themselves, they've said, "We are aware that some players may be experiencing unresponsiveness with their new Xbox wireless controllers, and our teams are actually working for a solution for their best experience. We encourage customers to visit Xbox support for assistance." So Microsoft, at least to their credit, they're not sitting on their thumbs and trying to hide the issue at hand. They are actually saying, okay, yes, this is an actual issue that some people are experiencing. Make sure to contact us and go forward with a solution. At this point, it doesn't seem that Microsoft themselves actually have an explanation or a solution to this issue at the moment, but it's very good to see Microsoft at least acknowledge it and say, okay, there is an issue here, please contact support for help and additional support. Though it's important to note for this video in particular that this issue in particular is not a massive widespread issue. It is still a very limited quantity, nowhere near on the same size as the Joy-Con drift issues, which that issue on its own is making even more progress in terms of a class action lawsuit possibly coming, as well as other lawsuits associated with Joy-Con drift aimed at Nintendo. It's important to know this Xbox issue is pretty self-contained at the moment. It's still quite new, and Microsoft has come out and said that this is an issue early on, so whether or not this is going to be a widespread issue, it remains to be seen still. So if you are someone who's experiencing this issue with your Xbox controller, your X, Y, A, B buttons sometimes aren't registering, or you're pressing them and sometimes you're just thinking, oh, why aren't my buttons working? It's possible that you've got an issue with your controller, and if this is the case, I recommend you go out and contact Microsoft support and they just issue a ticket and hopefully they get you sorted. It's nice to see Microsoft has acknowledged this issue, so you should be alright if you are experiencing these issues yourself. But this takes on to the wider note of the current quality assurance and quality control that consoles have been experiencing recently. We've seen issues, like I said, with Nintendo and their Joy-Con drift issues, and also the same issues happening on the joysticks on the DualSense controller as well. I'm pretty sure I read a rumour that apparently the actual Joy-Con, the little joystick actually mechanisms actually created by the same manufacturer from both Nintendo and Sony. So it's curious to see where that issue is going, but It's a bit sad to see that there are more quality assurance issues, especially with this generation of consoles. I've never seen a generation of consoles where there've been so many issues, whether that being from the Xbox or the PlayStation 5, although be it not, major widespread issue where they're having to cool every single console, or for example, the Galaxy Note 7 where their battery blew up and basically Samsung had to recool the entire lineup. So it's not quite a failure on that level. But compared to previous generations, in terms of controller faults, hardware faults, it's pretty crazy to see just how many issues these consoles are having, and the issues with quality assurance. We're trying to get out so many units. There's loads of quality assurance issues that have arisen. For example, my original PS3 controller is still functioning. My original DualShock 4 controller that I picked up back in 2013 that I used to play games on my PC with, that is still going very strong. I've not had a single issue with any of my older components, but the newer line of console peripherals and hardware, yeah, it's interesting to see just how many issues that they're actually having. So anyway guys, I'm going to conclude today's topic. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think on the issue down below. Are you having problems with your current gen console? Are you having any problems with your Xbox or PlayStation controller? And what are your thoughts on this whole thing in terms of quality assurance and the wider picture on the current gen systems as a whole? Anyway guys, I've been Matt from MLC Techie. I'm going to get on out of here. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below, join in the conversation. Let's have a discussion. This is what this channel is for. I want to discuss, talk tech, talk game review. That's what we want, a two-way discussion. Anyway guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode of MLC Tech. Goodbye.